Welcome to The Explainer. Now, if you're an event venue, chances are your website is absolutely amazing at getting clients in the door. But let's talk about what happens after they sign on the dotted line. Does your site actually help them plan their big day?
So let's just start with a really direct question for all you venue owners out there. Can a couple actually plan their wedding using just your website? I mean, really think about it. For most, if we're being honest, the answer is a hard no. And that's a much bigger problem than you might realize.
And this leads us right into something we call the post-booking paradox. See, your website is this perfectly tuned machine for getting a client to book, but it pretty much ignores the much longer, much more complicated part that comes next, the actual planning.
I mean, let's be fair. Modern venue websites are fantastic marketing tools. They've got the gorgeous photos, the easy-to-read packages, those glowing testimonials, and, of course, a super simple inquiry form. They are built to do one thing incredibly well: land that booking.
But here's where the paradox kicks in. The second that contract is signed and the deposit clears, poof, the website's usefulness just drops off a cliff. As a marketing tool, its job is over. But for your client, the real hard work is just getting started.
And this is where things get messy. It creates what you can only describe as a planning black hole. It's this huge, frustrating gap between the simple info your site offers and the incredibly complex, ever-changing reality of planning a wedding. Just look at the disconnect here. On one side, your website provides static things, a contact us form, a brochure to download, maybe a sample menu. But what does actual planning require? It's all action. Building timelines, managing guest lists, constantly adjusting layouts, and coordinating with a dozen different suppliers. Your website just isn't built for that stuff.
So what happens when there's no system in place? Well, people fall back on the only tool they have. Without any real planning tools on your site, both your clients and your team get forced into the one place they can talk: email. And that's where the chaos really begins.
And all this disorganization, it leads directly to what we call the high cost of chaos. And I'm not talking about a minor headache. This planning black hole creates real, actual costs for your clients and for your team.
Okay, let's just get one thing crystal clear right here, right now. Email is not a planning system. It's a communication tool. It was never, ever designed to manage a complex project with a million moving parts like a wedding.
And you know exactly what this chaos looks like. You've lived it. Email threads splinter into a dozen different conversations. You've got 5 different files named floor_plan_final_v3 actuallyfinal.pdf. Crucial details, like a severe nut allergy or the DJ's arrival time, get buried under an avalanche of replies. And your team is stuck answering the same questions over and over because there is no single source of truth.
This chaos creates something called the visibility gap. It's that awful feeling when nobody, not the couple, not your event coordinator, maybe not even you, can look at one single place and see a clear, unified, up-to-date plan. Everything is just scattered. And the effect this has on your client is huge. Think about it. Your team could be absolute rock stars, the best in the business. But if the process itself looks chaotic, from the outside, if there's no visible structure, it creates this deep sense of uncertainty for the client. And that feeling undermines their confidence in your professionalism. Now let's flip the coin for a second. This isn't just about client anxiety. This chaos creates a massive and often totally invisible administrative burden on your own staff. It is a huge, silent drain on your resources.
Your people get trapped in this Groundhog Day loop, answering the same questions, writing endless just confirming emails, and manually updating spreadsheets every time one little thing changes. This is precious time that should be spent on executing a flawless event, not chasing down information.
Okay, so enough about the problem. What's the solution? Well, it requires a fundamental shift in thinking. The answer is to build real infrastructure, not just send more emails. It's about moving from simple communication to true coordination. So what does this actually look like? Well, imagine your client can log into a private dashboard just for their event. They can see the one official version of the timeline, look at the approved floor plan, and see a clear checklist of decisions they still need to make. And, this is huge, they can share limited, controlled access with their photographer or florist. What this does is honestly incredible. It totally transforms the experience. You go from this frantic, fragmented mess of back-and-forth emails to a calm, clear, structured workflow where everybody knows exactly what's going on.
And you've got to understand, this is so much more than just an operational upgrade.
This is a powerful competitive shift. In a market crowded with beautiful venues, offering a superior planning experience is how you truly stand out.
The business benefits here are just undeniable. You slash your team's administrative workload. Accountability becomes crystal clear. Your clients are way less stressed, which, let's be real, makes them easier to work with. Your quality of execution goes up because confusion goes down. And what happens when you deliver a smooth, stress-free experience? Your referral rates go through the roof.
Because here is the ultimate takeaway. Couples aren't just buying 4 walls and a pretty view. They're buying an experience. And more than anything, they are desperate for a planning process that feels controlled, predictable, and deeply professional.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought. Your ability to execute a perfect event shouldn't be left to chance, shouldn't depend on someone finding the right detail in a 3-month-old email chain. It should be built on a foundation of solid, structured infrastructure. The only question left is, are you building it?